Hi, kindergarten. Today we're going to talk about the life cycle of a plant. Our first vocabulary word is germinate. To germinate is to start to grow. So, like rain would help these little plants start to germinate. See how they're really little? They're starting to grow. Our second word is mature. Mature is to develop fully, so to grow into an adult or a full-grown animal or plant. Like this tomato is mature, right? It matured. See how it's red and it's ready to be picked? Then we have sapling. A sapling is a young tree. See how its trunk is really thin? It's only just starting to grow. And then a seedling is a baby plant that has grown from a little seed. So there was a seed in here that turned into this baby plant. Okay, so you see in front of you a picture that looks familiar because we talked about this last time. This is a sunflower. I wonder if you can pause the video and say the different parts of the plant out loud. Did you do it? Well, here we go. We have our roots, our stem, our leaves, our petals, or our flower, and our seeds. Okay? Now, remember, the role that each part plays in the survival of the plant is important. So the roots keep the plant in the ground, and they take in water and nutrients. The stem holds the plant up tall, and it carries that water and nutrients to the other parts. The leaves are where the plant makes the food for itself, okay? Pretty incredible. It's fascinating to think about all of the different things that plants can do. So today, the main topic or the main idea of our lesson is the life cycle of a plant. When a plant first starts to grow, it does not have all of the parts that we've learned about, right? At the beginning, it doesn't have all of those parts. So you're going to listen to find out more about how the plant grows and changes during its life, just like you grow and change. You've already learned about the different parts of a plant. One of those parts is the seed. Where can you find the seeds on the sunflower? Right here in the center of the flower. Many plants begin with a seed. Seeds come in all shapes and sizes, and as you might guess, the seeds from different plants look really different. Each seed is waiting to sprout or grow. If the seed is planted in the right place, then the seed will sprout and grow into a new plant. Only a sunflower plant can grow from a sunflower seed, and only an apple tree can grow from an apple seed. What types of plants do you think would grow if you planted a watermelon seed? A watermelon. What about a pumpkin seed? A pumpkin. And look, these are all different types of seeds. Seeds are the beginning of a new plant. Like all living things, plants live according to a life cycle. A life cycle includes the stages or changes that happen in living things. The life cycle of a plant starts with a seed. Most seeds have nutrients inside of them that feed the new plants for just a little while in order to germinate or begin growing into new plants. Seeds must have water, light from the sun, and nutrients from the soil. When a plant first starts to grow from a seed, it looks very different from a fully grown or mature plant. Baby plants are called seedlings. This image shows a plant's growth from germination to seedling. What do you see in this picture? Look, there it is when it's germinating, and zoop, 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 zoop. As it grows, it turns into a seedling. The very first picture shows a newly germinated seed that is just beginning to sprout. Germination begins when the seed gets just the right amount of light from the sun, water, and nutrients. This causes the seed to open and the seedling to poke up through the soil. If you look very carefully at this first picture, you can see that the new plant is just starting to grow its first root. Look right there. Isn't that cute? The next picture shows the same plant over several days. As the plant grows, you can see thin roots branching off deeper and deeper into the soil. The roots absorb water and nutrients and push them up through the plant's stem, which grows above the ground. It takes time for a seedling to grow into a full-grown adult plant. The amount of time it takes depends on the type of plant. If you plant a sunflower seed, it'll take about a month before the seedling begins to look more like a full-grown sunflower plant. If you plant an apple seed, it'll take several years for the seedling to grow into a full-grown tree. When the plant dies, it decays and breaks down into little pieces and goes back into the ground to become nutrients in the soil. A new life cycle of a plant begins. Uh-oh, I don't want that. Okay, now let's explore the life cycle of this oak tree. This acorn contains the seed of an oak tree. You might have seen acorns before on the ground outside, next to full-grown trees, or being carried away by squirrels. Squirrels love acorns. Squirrels spend all day running around looking for food and hiding food. They bury so many acorns, they often forget where they put some of them. The acorn the squirrel forgets stays in the soil, giving the oak seed inside a better chance to germinate underground. Remember, germinate means to begin growing into a plant. Once the seed sprouts, it will quickly grow into a seedling. But the young tree will grow only a foot or two in its first year. After a few years, the oak will grow to a height of 10 or more feet, but it's still considered a young tree or a sapling. This tree will still be called a sapling for several years to come. It's still a baby tree. Oak trees take a long time to mature or grow into an adult or full-grown tree. In fact, it takes about 50 years for the average oak tree to mature so it can produce acorns. An oak tree can produce tens of thousands of acorns over the course of its lifetime. Only a few of those acorns will germinate and grow into new oak trees. Some oak trees can live for over 200 years. Eventually, like all living things, the oak tree will die. The oak tree will die slowly over the course of several years. It will produce fewer and fewer leaves each year. Its branches will drop off one by one, and gradually its wood will become softer and softer. Finally, the roots will die and the tree will fall down with a big crash onto the forest floor. The tree's branches will be the first to rot and disappear into the soil, but the woody trunk will take many years to completely decay. All of the nutrients in the wood will decay and become part of the soil once again. The more decayed plants there are in the soil, the more nutrients the soil will have. And the more nutrients there are, the easier it will be for new seeds, like the acorn seed, to germinate and grow. As we've seen, all plants live according to a life cycle. The diagram shows you the life cycle of a sunflower. A new plant begins when the sunflower seed germinates and sprouts into a seedling. See these little seeds fall on the ground and zoop, it sprouts into a seedling right there. If the seedling receives the right amount of water and nutrients and light, then the plant will continue to grow. Eventually, the plant will become mature and make more seeds. There it is, mature. And it will make more seeds from which the new plant will grow. When the sunflower dies and decays, it becomes the nutrients in the soil so that the seeds can germinate and grow into new plants. And a new life cycle of a plant begins. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I hope you liked listening to this story. Remember to click on the exit ticket below. See you later, kindergarten.